Hey dolls, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'll be showing you guys how I got this wig. I made this wig and styled it myself. This hair is from my hairline hair sensation, and this wig is for a customer. I won't be showing you guys how I bleached the hair because I did it in a previous video. I will be leaving the link somewhere above, but I'll be showing you guys how I made it and customize it. But before we jump into this video, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you are notified whenever I post, hit that thumbs up button if you like this video, and leave all your comments down below. Without further ado, let's jump right into this video.
Let me say that again.
Starting out, I'm just showing you guys the specs of and details of the hair. So this is the hair, the frontal. Actually, I already plucked it and bleached it. All our frontals come pre-plucked and bleached and customized pretty much. And she will be using a 28-inch, 26 and 24 straight bundle. The frontal is a 20-inch frontal in the texture straight as well. She wants it to be bleach and stuff, but the bleaching part is not in this video. So starting out, I'm just showing you guys the wig cap that I'm using. I'm using the mesh spandex dome cap just because with the mesh, I feel like after a while you wearing a wig for so long, it could make your hair get hot and you feel uncomfortable and sweating and all that. So I like using the mesh because it gives it a little bit more breathable space so you're able to wear your wig in comfort. Now I'm just placing the frontal on the wig cap. How you place it, it depends on you pretty much. But for me, I try to put the frontal a little above the cap. However, this was a medium-sized cap and her head was a small, so I didn't go in front of the cap. I actually just stayed on the cap or a little behind the cap, so it would actually be a small because you going in front of the medium would actually make it a little bit bigger. So I didn't go too in front of the wig cap. I actually just stayed on it and just pinned it down into place and sewed it. Now that it is all pinned down, all I did was just took away the hair from the back just to take it out of my way, so it doesn't bug me when I'm sewing. You could pin it away, plait it, twist it, whatever you want to do. Just make sure it's not in your way when you're sewing it. And right now, I think I have made a video with how I've sewn the how I sew wigs and stuff. So right now I'm just gonna let you guys watch this part because all I do is the I think it's loop and pull method. I'm not sure honestly, but it's the method where you sew, then you make sure to put the thread in between the next ones and then you sew over. I don't know how to explain it actually, but I'm just going to be zooming in and let you guys watch while I sew. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. So you want to make sure that the thread is under the needle when you're sewing, and then you pull it so it kind of almost like knots it down or kind of holds it down. So you just want to make sure that the thread is under the needle when you pull it, so it kind of makes a knot when you're done. And that's literally the motion that I do, or the method that I use for even the bundles as well. So right now I'm just gonna sew the frontal on and then come back when it's the bundle time. it's time for the bundles. With the bundles, how I do it is I start with the longest inch first. So because she's using 28, 26, and 24, I will be going in with the 28 inch and the 26 and the 24 inch. If you have the same inches, then you could use whichever bundle. It's the same number, you know. So right now I'm just going to be starting with the 28 inch. So starting out, I put the end of the needle. So the needle that I use to sew the bundle, whatever that's hanging off, that's the same needle and thread that I used to start the first bundle. I pin it, actually put the needle through it so it could give me almost like support to hold the hair in place while I'm sewing it. So I put the needle in it first so it could hold it. Then I pin one in the middle, and then I put a next T-pin right at the frontal, which you're going to see me doing. And these T-pins you can find online on Amazon. I would have said the beauty supply store, but I heard they're closing down just because of the coronavirus and stuff. So you could probably order them online. And that's literally how I pin down my hair when I'm starting to sew. So the first pinning down is normally from the support of the needle. So I will just put the needle in so the needle can hold it together for me. And then the next two are normally with the T-pins. And that's what I do for all my bundles. Now I'm going to be showing you guys how I sew my hair. Hold on, let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so I think my hand was blocking the way in which I was sewing it, but it's the same method that I used for the frontal. So you wanna put the needle under the weft, and then put it under the weft, then over the thread, and pull it. So it makes the little knot that I'm talking about, and then you do the next one. So under the weft, then make sure the thread is lying under the needle, then you pull the needle through the middle. Right now it's not a good angle, so what I'm going to do is just speed up this part, and when it's an actual good angle, I'll just slow it down so you guys could see it. And right there, that's how I knot each when I'm, stopping or like changing the needle. So put the thread around the needle, pull it, then make a knot, and then you cut it. I'm gonna do a next one, and then closing it off and stuff. I'll show you how I close off the sewing and stuff. So this is the part that I'm talking about when I'm closing it off. What I do is put the needle through the frontal and then through the bundle, like directly through the bundle and not under it, directly through the weft, and then wrap a few times around the needle, pull the needle, and then make the knot. And this is the knot that I'm making right here so that it is secure and it doesn't pull apart. And then you could either cut the thread. I don't normally cut it. I just do what I'm doing right here. Just put it back through the frontal and then, do the next weft. Now, for the next weft, you could either cut it or leave it on. But I feel like it's easier when you cut the weft, because when you fold it, if you don't know how to exactly fold it down, then you can make the wig a little bit buffy. So in order to get my wigs flat, I normally cut the weft and then just do a new one. But now right here, I think I was trying to not cut the weft. And what I do when I'm not cutting the weft is I put the needle directly through the weft and kind of almost like sew it down so it's flat before moving forward. I'm not sure if I showed you guys exactly what I did, but I pretty much put the needle through the frontal, then through the weft, sew it down so it could be flat, so it doesn't look puffy when my customer is wearing the wigs. I don't know. This one is hard. If you don't really understand how to make it flat, then it's a little bit challenging for you. So right there, I'm just pushing the needle through the weft. But again, it's a little bit hard especially if you're a beginner. If you want, you could just cut the thread and cut the weft actually, and it's way easier. You just have to, starting out, put the needle through the weft, and then for the rest of it, you put it under the weft over the thread, and you just sew as normal. But right here, I didn't want to cut the first bundle, so that's how I made it, flat and stuff. And then continued sewing the same way as under the weft, but the under the weft with the needle under the weft, then over the thread, and the same way how I sewed the frontal. So I'm gonna let you guys watch again until the 28 bundle is done. Okay, so right here was a good angle, or kind of, so I'm just showing you guys how I, sewed it and stuff. Make sure the needle is in between the thread when you're pulling it. And that's literally what you do. Under, over the thread, make sure it's in the middle, pull it, and that's it. That's literally all you do when you're sewing the bundles. And then when you're ending it, instead of putting the needle under the bundle, you put it under the weft. Instead of putting it under the weft, you put it through the weft, and then wrap the thread around the needle a few times, pull it, and then make a knot. So I'm gonna show you guys how I end it. Okay, so I slowed it down for this part. So you see the needle is already through the weft right there. So what I did was wrapped it around the needle, wrapped the thread around the needle, then pull the needle, and then made a knot with it. So right now, after wrapping it around, all I did was pull it and then made a knot with it, and then that's how I finished it off. And that's what I do for pretty much all the bundles. So I don't think I'll be showing you guys the entire bundle, just because I'm also going to be customizing the unit on camera and I don't want the video to be too long. But I'm just showing you guys what I do for all the wefts. Through the needle, ending it. When I'm ending it, ow, I just fucked up my nose ring. But yeah, when I'm ending it, through the weft, wrap the thread around it, and then make a knot, then it's done. And now I'm just gonna skip to the ending part so I can show you guys how I close off the wig. So closing off the wig, a little trick when you're closing the wig, just in case you're running out of hair. I wasn't, but I just always do this just in case. I try to put the ending here first. So normally you would sew this part last, but I did it first, so all the tracks are covered. You want to make sure you do this just in case you run out of hair, at least it is closed. So what I do is put the needle, just like how I start every bundle, through through the weft, and then the rest is under the weft. So that's what I did, and now I am just going to be sewing it with the same method. And then again, when I'm closing it, I put it through the weft, do the little wrap around the needle, and then the knot, and then it's done. But guys, I'm telling you, when you do it this way, as in sew the closing part first before you finish the wig completely, you're safe. Because look, even though there's not hair under it, it's still covered. Like, you can finesse it until you find some bundles or you find pieces of hair wherever. Not for your clients, but for yourself, because you don't want to send pieces of hair to your clients. But overall, this is what I have been doing to save, you know, disaster at the end. Because if you say, for example, you sew the others before this part and then the hair is done, you have to wait. Like, you're kind of have to use like the frontal to cover, and like it's just too much. So what I do is just do this one first, and then whatever hair that I'm missing at the back, it won't really show because again, it's covered. Also, I have a video where I did not sew the hair to the frontal. You have two options. You don't have to sew it to the frontal, or you can sew it to the frontal to make it more secure. It is secure even when you don't attach the bundles to the frontal when you're sewing as well, but you go like really close to the frontal. This way you can change your frontal if you want. But for my wigs, I normally just, well, for my wigs, for my clients, especially the ones that don't normally wear wigs on a regular basis, I try to just, you know, if they don't plan on really changing it, then I could just put it on the frontal. But if they tell me from time to time they want to switch the wigs or switch the frontal or whatever, you can do it without sewing it directly on the frontal. It's not like you won't be able to make another wig with the bundle. You can, even if it's sewn to the frontal, just like how I'm doing it right now. All you would have to do is pretty much just take off the bundles and, you know, put it on a new frontal or whatever. But if you want to save time, then you don't have to sew the bundles directly on the frontal. You just sew it close to the frontal. So all you have to do if you're replacing the frontal is just cut the frontal off and then attach it to the already made half wig. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is what I do for the bundles. Now I'm just gonna show you guys how I customize the wig. So right now, this is how the hair is looking after I bleached it and colored it and all of that stuff. I did do a video on how you can achieve this color, so I will be putting it somewhere in on the screen so you could watch that video if you want to see how I got this color. But right now I'm putting the frontal out the way so I could, look on the bundles and stuff to make sure after bleaching it and all of that, they're still secured. And also, whenever you bleach hair, sometimes you leave white residue on the near the wefts, and you won't see everything when you're washing it, just because again you're washing the whole hair. It's a lot. It's a lot of hair, and sometimes the residue from the bleach can be small and stuff, so you won't really see unless you part the wig and look on it. So right now all I'm doing is just parting the wig, looking on the weft to make sure that the white particles are not there. And even if the white particles are there, all you have to do is pretty much just spray water on it and then kind of rub it out, almost like you're washing it again. So what's like, you see right now there's white particles in it. All I do is just spray the water on it and kind of just rub it out or whatever. You guys are gonna see what I do. So right now I'm just searching to see, okay, this have the white particles on it, so I'm gonna just rub it with my fingers, or you could use a brush. You could use whatever you want. I literally just use my finger and voila, the white particles are gone. So that's how you get rid of the white particles whenever you bleach hair and it's on it. If you don't want to go in and wash the hair, again, the hair is not dirty. It's just like washing the hair sometimes. It's just like when you bleach your hair, sometimes it leaves the residues that are not easily detected when you're washing the hair. So even if you go back in and wash the hair, you literally have to go part the hair and then go in little by little, and then it kind of, when you could just use it. This is an easier way to do it. But regardless, I do suggest people washing their hair over again. Even if you get it from AliExpress, sometimes you never know. You never know. Worst of this virus, just wash your hair again, regardless if it's clean or not. But yeah, that's how that's how you can get rid of like white residues and stuff. Now I'm just going to be flat ironing the hair and then, all of that. So right here is the blow dryer heat protecting spray that I have, and then I went in with the heat protectant for the flat ironing. It's a got to be glue brand heat protectant spray. You could use whatever you have. So what I use is the heat protector for blow drying and a heat protector for flat ironing, and also my BioSilk. So I'm just gonna let you guys watch me blow with the hair and stuff and flat iron it, and I'll come back when it's all done and all bushy and stuff. Okay, so for the oh my gosh, I was going off. I wonder what the fuck. What was I talking about? But anyways, for the frontal, I flat iron it just as how I did the bundles, but the only difference is that I use the hot comb for the roots. So I flat iron the ends just like, just as how I would normally flat iron the bundles or anything else. And then I went in with the hot comb for the roots. Just because, sometimes even when you flat iron the hair, it's not as, the roots doesn't get touched because the flat iron doesn't go, too close to the roots or whatever. So to get it really flat, what I do is I go in with my hot comb just to make it a little bit more sleek. But you guys will see exactly what I'm talking about. And then, I think I forgot to do it for that one, but you guys will see. You guys will see. I'm gonna just let you guys watch, actually. So now you see how one side is looking all sleek. Like, look at that. Look at that. It's not even, fully finished or whatever, but yeah. Yeah. And now that everything is pretty much done, I am just going to be going back in to see where needs some more plucking, where needs some more touching up, if I need to go back over with the flat iron and stuff, or even the hot comb. So right now that is all I'm doing, just touching up, looking on what needs to be plucked, whatever needs to be fixed. This is the last and final step, and you just want to make sure everything is to your likings and everything looks proper for your customer. Voila, there you have it. This is the end result, the final product. Thank you guys for watching. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell button so you are notified whenever I post. Leave all your comments down below. Like, share, and again, do not forget to subscribe. Thank you guys, and I will definitely see you guys in my next one.